We all know EJ has always had a dark side. He is Stefano's son, after all. But what he is doing right now, it is just so low, so incredibly low. Next week, the week of July 27th through the 31st, we are going to see EJ having to worry about his own son, Johnny DiMera. Because Johnny is finally figuring out what a monster his dad is being right now. And I am here for it. I am so here for it. So let's back up a bit and look at the whole picture. The whole drug crisis. The tainted Coraceal from DiMera Pharmaceuticals. People are getting sick in Salem. Destiny died. It is a massive, massive scandal. And EJ, instead of doing the right thing, instead of coming clean or actually trying to fix the problem like a normal human being, he decides to orchestrate a massive cover-up. Because of course he does. That is the DiMera way. Deny, deny, deny. Cover it up. But the way he is doing it, it is honestly sickening. He planted the drugs on a teenager. He framed Holly Jonas. Let that sink in. He framed Holly. What were they thinking? Honestly, what was EJ thinking? Holly has been through so much trauma already. And EJ used to be married to her mother, Nicole Walker. He helped raise Holly for a minute there. And now he is just tossing her under the bus to save his own corporate skin. He planted those pills in her hospital bag, so it would look like she took the Coraceal herself. To make it look like the arsenic poisoning was just incidental, like she was just some drug-seeking teen who made a bad choice. It is disgusting. And I am just so mad at him. I mean, I love a good villain, but this is just gross. It crosses a line that shouldn't be crossed. And Tate found those pills. Tate Black, who has been defending Holly this whole time, found the pills in her bag. EJ didn't just frame Holly legally. He is destroying her personal relationships. He is ruining her life. He is making the boy who cares about her doubt her. And for what? For DiMera Enterprises, a company that doesn't even have a soul. But anyway, let's get to the good part. The part where Johnny finds out. Because that is the real meat of next week's drama. So Johnny, sweet, sweet Johnny, he has always been the moral compass of that family, right? Well, mostly, he has his moments of being a DiMera. But compared to EJ, Johnny is basically a saint. And next week, Johnny is going to grill his dad. He is going to back EJ into a corner and demand to know the truth. Johnny demands to know if EJ planted the drugs in Holly's bag. I mean, of course he did. We all know he did. But will EJ actually confess to Johnny? Or will he keep denying it? EJ is a master liar. He lies as easily as he breathes. But this is his son looking him dead in the eye. I honestly don't know what EJ will say. Sometimes EJ has this weird soft spot for Johnny. He wants Johnny's approval in this twisted way. But then again, EJ also tried to force Johnny to take over as COO just to help him cover up this exact mess. So maybe EJ doesn't care about anyone but himself. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Actually, no, I'm not. EJ is being awful. He is being so awful. And Johnny is furious. The spoilers say Johnny is pretty upset. And that is the understatement of the century. He is going to be raging. You guys, imagine finding out your dad framed a teenage girl for a federal drug crime just to save his company from a lawsuit and bad PR. Johnny's going to be sick to his stomach. And the big question is, what is Johnny going to do about it? Will he step back? Will he refuse to help EJ anymore? I really, really hope so. Johnny cannot go down with this ship. He has Chanel to worry about. Chanel is dealing with breast cancer, for crying out loud. She is pregnant and terrified. Johnny does not need to be going to federal prison because his dad is a sociopath. He needs to be at home with his wife, not covering up felonies. And let's not forget what Johnny is dealing with at home. His beautiful wife, Chanel, is battling this horrible illness. She is trying on blonde wigs because she is terrified of losing her hair. Johnny is already under a mountain of stress. He only took this COO job at Demera to help his dad out because the family was in crisis. He stepped up. He was being a good son. And how does EJ repay him? By dragging him into a massive, illegal, highly unethical cover-up. It is just so selfish. EJ is so selfish. Johnny is coming home from the hospital, trying to comfort his crying wife, and then he has to go to the office and deal with his dad framing a teenager. It is too much. It is way too much for one person to handle. But let's zoom out and talk about the bigger pattern here. This fits the show's usual style perfectly. The Demeras do something illegal. They try to cover it up. They drag their innocent family members into it, and then everything explodes. We have seen it a million times. But this storyline feels a little different because usually the cover-up is about murder or corporate espionage against Titan. Framing a kid who is practically family, that crosses a line, even for EJ. The fans on social media are losing their minds over this. Everyone is like, who actually believes this is going to end well? Spoiler alert, nobody. Nobody thinks EJ is getting away with this. And let's talk about the potential fallout. If Johnny exposes EJ, EJ is done. Ray Fernandez and Kat Green are already building a massive federal case against EJ. They are sniffing around. If Johnny flips on his dad and goes to the cops, EJ is going straight to Statesville. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. But will Johnny actually pull the trigger? Will he turn his own flesh and blood into the police? That is a huge step. It is easy to say you would do it, but when it is your own dad, it is complicated. Sometimes I think Johnny is too soft. He loves his dad. He always wants to believe the best in EJ. Even when EJ proves time and time again that he is exactly like Stefano. So maybe Johnny will just threaten him. Maybe Johnny will say, I'm quitting, and if you don't clear Holly's name, I'll go to the cops. A little blackmail. A little Demera blackmail. That would be fun to watch. But Johnny needs to act fast because Holly's reputation is in the toilet right now. People think she's a junkie. Amy Choi is already screaming at her, and now Tate is doubting her. Holly is entirely isolated, and it is 100% EJ's fault. And you know what else bothers me? The fact that EJ thought he could just get away with this. He is so arrogant. He really thought he had Holly in the clear, but in reality, he just set her up to take the fall for his defective product. He thinks he is the smartest guy in the room. Always. But he didn't count on Johnny having a conscience. He didn't count on Sarah Horton digging into the Coruscant issue. Sarah doesn't stop digging. And EJ is going to snap on her too. He is going to try to fire Sarah from the hospital. Can you believe that? He is just lashing out at everyone. He is like a cornered animal. So Johnny is standing there watching his dad fire doctors, frame teenagers, and lie to his face. It is a breaking point. It has to be a breaking point. I changed my mind. Johnny is definitely going to expose him. Well, maybe not to the cops right away, but he is going to blow up EJ's life internally. He has to. If Johnny lets EJ get away with framing Holly as a druggie, then Johnny is just as bad as EJ. And I refuse to believe that. I refuse. Johnny is better than that. He has to be. Think about the history here again. EJ and Nicole were married. They had this whole toxic, crazy, passionate love story for years. EJ knows Holly. He knows what Holly means to Nicole. Nicole is out of town right now, and EJ is just taking advantage of that. It is so predatory. It really is. Like, who actually believes this is going to end well for EJ when Nicole finds out? Because you know she will. Nicole Walker is a mama bear. If she finds out her ex-husband framed her daughter for a drug scandal, oh my gosh, she will fly back to Salem and literally tear EJ apart with her bare hands. And honestly, I would pay money to see that. I would buy front row tickets. Honestly, this whole thing is just a giant mess. A huge, toxic, DiMera mess. And I am glued to my screen. I can't look away. I just hope Holly gets justice. I hope Tate realizes he was wrong to doubt her and apologizes. And I really, really hope EJ gets what is coming to him. Because you can't just play God with people's lives like this. You can't just toss a teenager to the wolves to protect your stock prices. It is evil. Pure lickable. Let's just hope the writers actually give us a satisfying payoff here. Sometimes they build these things up and then just fizzle them out. But with the stakes this high, with federal crimes and tainted drugs and framed teens, they have to go all the way. Johnny has to be the one to bring his dad down. It would be poetic justice. The son destroying the father's empire because the father forgot how to be a decent human being. I am so ready for it. I am counting down the days. So yeah, that is where we are at. Johnny grilling EJ. EJ lying. Holly suffering. It is a lot. It is so much. But that is why we watch, right? We love the drama. We live for the drama. I just need next week to get here already so I can see Carson Boatman and Dan Fireregal act the heck out of these scenes. It is going to be explosive. And, I will be right here breaking it all down when it happens.